Hello, folks. This is Kevin from Good Day, Good Prayers. Today, my message is going to go out over K.W. Wayne's DSR Chats. This is my other channel. Today, we have 6 subscribers on DSR Chats. And if you feel led to do so, please consider becoming a new subscriber. It's free to do and it's very easy to do. We also are in need of more thumbs up, and we also need a few people to volunteer to watch our videos a little bit deeper into them than what some people typically do. I know that I'm very deliberate and I know that I'm kind of slow at what I do, but I am who I am, and I can't change that. When you get to be my age, maybe you'll understand. And if you're older than me, God bless you. Today, this is going to be life number 5. And I'm going to talk a little bit about my life, but I'm also going to talk a little bit about the new diet program that I'm on. I wanted to give you a little bit of information here and there so that you would have additional information from day to day. Well, when I was a young boy, I used to listen to music. Now, one of the sources of music was my mother, because my mother was a great singer. She had a beautiful opera voice, and everybody wanted her to sing, whether it was in a show or whether it was a voluntary thing. Everybody wanted to hear her. And she would do a lot of singing. She would also do a lot of teaching. She enjoyed doing the felt characters, where you would actually cut out the felt pieces and then you would put them on the background and they would stick there, and then she could tell stories and you'd see 2 or 3 people there, and then you would see little things that she had created, cut out, that would be kind of setting the scene. It was really quite interesting. But she would sing, and she's the one that taught me to sing. I was about 7 or 8 years old when she started working with me. Prior to that, she was working with my older brother. And my older brother was a very good singer in his own right, but he sounded a lot like I did. In fact, when we sang together, it sounded like stereo. I could actually feel it ringing in my ears as we would sing together. But when I was about 7 or 8, I said to my mother, I said, I'd like you to work with me as well. I hear you singing with Ken, and you're singing on stage together and so on, and I'd kind of like to do that too. Well, she was a little bit hesitant, because I don't think that she realized that I had the ability to do it, and I also don't think that she realized that I was really kind of carefully watching what they did. So she would have me sing the main part, and she would sing the harmony. Well, one day she was singing the main part, and I started singing harmony to her. Well, it kind of blew her mind, because I was a little bit young to be able to understand harmony. And I don't know what it's like today. Maybe everybody that's 7 or 8 sings harmony, but I did it way back then. That was kind of interesting. But the fact of the matter is that she was the one that got me interested in the idea of singing and even playing instruments on stage. And I did that for several years. Until one concert, I came in a little bit too early. And I kind of messed up the entire song because the ending of the song, which was supposed to be a great crescendo, became a great flop. And it wasn't long after that that I decided to hang up my concerts and things of that nature, because I was not always on the right number. You know, when you're doing your counting, trying to get your numbers correct, I wasn't always on the right number. I don't know if I became preoccupied or what happened, but all of a sudden I just wasn't the same person doing that kind of thing anymore. And so I decided, after realizing that I wasn't quite up to snuff, maybe I didn't have, enough interest or something, I don't know. But anyway, I decided to quit, and I never did go back to it. Kind of sad, really, but that is the way that it was. Another thing that I used to like to do was to make up the words. When I was a real little guy, I couldn't tell what the words were, so I'd make up my own. And a lot of people would get a kick out of it because some of my words were a little bit comical. And it was interesting because when I did finally get to the age where I could tell what was being said in a song, I was kind of disappointed, because the beautiful movements of the music and the words, they just didn't stack up. People would sing these this beautiful music, and then they would sing songs that I thought were really not very good, not in comparison to the beauty of the music itself. So I would come up with my own words, and sometimes I'd be sarcastic, and I would sing something that was a little off color. My wife would say to me sometimes, I'd say, now that was one of the lost verses, and she'd say to me, well, that verse should stay lost. And I think she was right, but it was still funny to me. Today, I want to talk a few minutes about the new health program that I'm on. The other day, I did a 10-day update, and I told you that I had lost 14 pounds in the first 10 days, which is unheard of for an older person. What I was doing is a 6-hour window where I would eat, and then an 18-hour window where I would do intermittent fasting. Well, the doctors are a little bit concerned about that and want my wife and I both to move the 6 hours out to 8 hours, and then only have 16 hours of intermittent fasting. Well, one thing that I have learned in some of the research that I've done is that most people who have health issues, especially people who have cancer, if they go on a 3-day fast, supposedly that 3-day fast will actually kill the cancer, because the cancer cannot live for 72 hours without having food. One of the reasons why I'm away from flour, one of the reasons I'm away from the sugars and so on, is because cancer cannot survive without those things. In fact, it does quite well with those things. Now, I'm not going to tell you that a 3-day fast is what you should do. If you're going to do something like that ever, make sure you talk to your physician, or at least get some information from someplace. Don't just make the decision on your own, and never ever do it because somebody else says you should. That's just wrong. It's a bad idea. So I'm feeling pretty good. I'm 14 or 15 days now into it, and I'm feeling pretty good. We have moved the 6-hour window out a bit to accommodate my wife's health. You know, she has the heart problems and so on, and also to accommodate the fact that the 6 hours was actually feeling a little bit too cramped for me this time. So I've got my time out a little closer to 6.5 or 7 hours, and she's keeping hers a little bit closer to 7.5 hours, and even up to sometimes 8 hours. But we're both doing good and both feeling good. Please remember to give us a like. We really can use all the thumbs up we can get. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, and if you can, go to Good Day Good Prayers and subscribe there as well if you haven't. We would really appreciate that. Any help you can give us will allow us to get our information out to more people. But most importantly, you have a good day. Now, in order to have a good day, it always starts with a good prayer. And you know it's a good prayer if it reaches the throne of God. Good day.